So, good evening, guys. My name is Sai, and I'm your instructor for today's class. And now, let us start by revising yesterday's concepts that I have taught you. Can somebody tell the total number of students? How many are present right now?
42, sir.
42.
Okay, start it. We are getting late.
Yeah, okay, fine, sir. I'll just start now.
And Sai, make sure your class finishes by time, okay? At least
Yes,
by
sir,
8.
definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, now let us start a quick revision of S+ concepts and theory part. Yesterday, we began discussing by a formal definition of data set. As I explained yesterday, data set is a collection of data. It is a collection of data elements rather, and as it is as the term itself indicates to be a collection, we generally call it to be a set of data. Therefore, it is a data set. There is nothing much hard to remember about. And the best examples that I could give about data set are scores data set and shopping bills data set, which are provided by IITM address. You can access them in supplementary contents as well. And thereafter, immediately after, in a data set, we observed that there are particular elements called variables which had some name and value associated with them. Those entities are generally referred to as variables, and a variable has two declarations. One is the name and two is the associated value with it. A variable is a general entity which is used to store a value, and please remember this point. The best example that I could give from the above example of a data set is mathematics marks, which is present in the scores data set. The maths marks are present in the scores data set, and physics are also present in the scores data set. And shopping bills. Say that you need a variable from shopping bills, then it could be total amount, which total amount is a variable which shows us the total amount of bill that has been created by the student by visiting a particular general store or a kirana store. And hence this is what a variable is. And thereafter we went to discuss about iteration. Iteration is another term for a repetition of a particular cycle. In short, we can just say that iteration is a process that gets initiated to the beginning step after it reaches a particular point of process. Like for example, I said you yesterday regarding the ticket booking, whether we wanted to move on from the final stage to again book the written tickets. There we will get introduced to iteration. Or in other words, we can, in order to count the total number of female students from Chennai, we can say that we can initialize a variable to 0, like F count, like which stands for female count. That could be a better name for a variable. And we start by initializing a value 0, and whenever we find a female student from Chennai city, we increment the value of count, and thereafter we again move on to the file step. We again move on to check whether if there are more cards in file. That is what a simple example of iteration is. And now filtering. What is filtering? As I said, now let us say that we wanted to find the total number of female students from Chennai. That's what I said just now to explain as an example for iteration, and that particular example serves as an example of filtering as well, because in order to find there are let us consider a general case where we all are students. So you all are students here in this particular group. So let us say there are some 100 members of your classmates as well. So let us say that the group admin wanted to find out the total number of students who are from Delhi or from Mumbai. We can find the number of students, that is a general case which we can find from the total number of participants. But in case if we want to find the city-based students or the gender equality, if you want to find out the proportion of male to female in a particular group, then we can start filtering the given group by applying a separate condition called if gender is equal to male or gender is equal to female. This is what applying a filter means. Applying a filter is the very basic step in the process of filtering. Without applying a filter, there is no use of making filtering accordingly. As I said, now let us consider that already this has been discussed. I have already given a second example where our group has been introduced into this curriculum. So that is what filtering is. Am I going somewhat faster? Can somebody give a feedback so that I can slow down or do such?
It's fine.
It's fine,
sir.
Yeah, okay. We shall continue now. And after filtering, we went to discuss about flowchart. A flowchart is a systematic diagram which shows a visual representation of a process. It shows a systematic presentation and which is it shows a visual representation in a particular order, like in a particular sequence that happens. We have taken an example of
clear नहीं है. Sound is not clear.
Sound clear.
I think there's a problem on your end, Adesh Rangari. You can check your connection issues as well.
No, sir. Really, your sound is not clear.
You can reconnect. Okay, you can reconnect. It will get clear. End the chat and you can reconnect. Sai, it is clear, very clear from your side.
Okay, sir. Fine. I think they have some problem at their end.
Yeah, from the students' end. Those who are facing problem, जिसका sound clear नहीं आ रहा है, वो लोग end होके तुरंत join कर लीजिए.
Okay, now we move on to discuss about flowchart. Actually, what indeed is a flowchart? Flowchart is a systematic representation of a particular process. Once again, I repeat, this is a point to be stressed upon because based upon this, we will be getting at least 1 or 2 questions in the qualifier exam. So you need to pay much concentration on flowchart as well. So a flowchart is a systematic representation of a process or a cycle that happens or takes place in a stepwise manner. Actually, every process happens accordingly in stepwise manner, but I stressed upon a stepwise manner here because we tend to draw a flowchart to indicate the sequence of steps that happen in a process. So in the word itself, flow. In the flowchart, we have the word called flow. Here, the flow is used to show the steps that take place in a particular order. So please make note of this, everyone. And we have taken a very good example to book tickets to IIT Madras to participate in a fest or do or such. And once again, I repeat that example for your good sake. Okay. Now, this is the example that we have taken. From your native place to IIT Madras for the purpose of visiting a paradox, which is a fest organized by IIT Madras. Now, how do you draw a flowchart to book tickets here? We initially start a flowchart using a circle. This has been explained yesterday, and thereafter from thereafter we open 𝗕𝗵𝗱𝗲 or IRCTC based upon the type of transport that we are interested to move with. So now we enter. Where is this? Input. We need to give an input. Yes, this is the good symbol. And yeah, this is an input. we give an input to the web server. We give an input to the web server requesting to visit the page of 𝗕𝗵𝗻𝗲 or IRCTC. This is what an input or output box stands to. As you can see here, this is the corresponding table which has been attached in the PDF so that you can understand better. I am explaining a flowchart with reference to these symbols, and hence I request everybody to pay much attention to these 5 symbols as they play a very crucial role in understanding a flowchart. Once you understand the flowchart, you are through the question. You can 100% solve the question with great accuracy. And thereafter, what do? We go to 𝗖𝗵𝗻𝗲 here. And now after moving on to 𝗖𝗵𝗻𝗲, we search for tickets, which is a process. We search for a process. I'll just label them after I complete drawing symbols. After we this is the process of visiting 𝗖𝗵𝗻𝗲, and this is starting. And after we visit 𝗖𝗵𝗻𝗲, we give the input and output, and this is the process that takes place internally. And thereafter, once again, we give an input of date of travel. To denote an input or output, we need to use a parallelogram. And again, after selecting our date of travel, we need to book tickets if they are luckily available for us. As booking a ticket is a particular process to be carried out, we need to denote that inside a rectangle. And now, thereafter, we move on to the booking page. After we book our tickets, we will be shown an option of booking return tickets if desired. We denote that particular option with a diamond box, which has 2 branches, which are one is for true and one is for false, respectively. We see that one goes for yes and one goes for no. If we are not interested to book tickets, the process ends there itself. Yeah, and now let me label this. This is a start or a stop. Yes, this is the starting point of our flowchart, which is this particular circle corresponds to the first step, opening IRCTC. I mean, this is a starting, and this corresponds to the first step. We open IRCTC. Open a booking website. And after that, we do a process of selecting, so we open booking website, and also inside that again date of travel. Okay, fine. Yeah, and now And what should we keep in the rectangle box? As the rectangle box is used for process, to denote a process that happens internally or externally or by the user, we just need to mention ticket booking. As the tickets get booked, we need to show the particular process of ticket booking, which happens internally on the server after we do the payment. And thereafter, ticket booking, and after ticket booking, we will be asked, like, do you want to opt for we get an option of a business class and economy class. This is what we need to give an input as well, economy or business class. As we need to give an input to the computer, we should denote these options inside a parallelogram. You see that this is a parallelogram. This thing is an input or output. So after giving that, again the final tickets get confirmed, and this is the output. This is the process. Final tickets, desired ticket booking. As this is a process, we need to mention the ticket that we wanted in either economy or in business class. And after the ticket booking gets completed, we will be shown. In general, it is common that we find an option to book return tickets in IRCTC website. With regard to IRCTC website, I had given this flowchart. You can select want to book return journey tickets as well. And what do these two branches refer to? One of the branches will stand for yes, and the secondary branch will stand for no. Okay, so in case if you do not want to book or return tickets and want to spend more time in the campus and have good enjoyment time, then our entire ticket booking process comes to an end. We terminate the process of ticket booking there itself. And in case if you are very much eager to visit home, then this particular branch moves on to the very first page after opening the website, to this particular branch, which is ticket booking. And you can do the same flow, and this is a perfect example for iteration as well, where the ticket booking happens for a second time. Is this example clear, everybody? Hello?
Yes,
Any doubts in this?
Yes, sir.
no, sir.
Okay, fine. Can I move on then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
fine. And now type, okay. Sanity of data. What does sanity of data refer to?
Correct representation of data.
Yes. From your understanding, can someone please just give me a short understanding from your end, so that others can feel much responsible as well? Any one person voluntarily. Someone who could speak up.
Quantity of T-shirt.
What?
It can be the quantity of T-shirt should be 2, not like 2.5. It cannot be 2.5.
Yeah, that serves as a better example. What you said is also perfect. Sanity of data refers to appropriate or correct information rather than rather than a wrong information or such improper representation of data. Yesterday I had given you a perfect example regarding a milk. The quantity of milk can be 0.75 liters, 0.5 liters, and also 1.5 liters. This is a perfect thing. We can have a bill get calculated for milk in this manner, which is perfect. This is 100% right. Whereas in the case of Maggie, it can be 1 pack of Maggie. This is right, but 0.5 packs of Maggie is 200% a blunder mistake, which cannot happen because in reality we cannot find any 0.5 or half pack of Maggie which can be sold loosely. We can either buy a whole quantity, which is either 1, 2, 3 or nil. If you are not interested, we need not buy Maggie, and that those are the options of buying Maggie. I mean, the same is applicable for any other item as well. Like as one of our students, Dharmik said, it could be a T-shirt, it could be a jean pant, it could be a trouser, a blazer, something. So I hope you all got good understanding regarding sanity of data as well. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yesterday actually I found someone who was asking some doubt regarding sanity of data. I will just see their name. Sanity of data. 𝗕𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗃. He is 𝗕𝗵𝗲𝗃 present here? If yes, can you please raise up? So I think he's not there here. And thereafter, so we move on to the next explanation. Data type. What indeed is a data type?
Govardhan, your mic is on. Please switch it off.
Okay, sir.
And the next topic that we are going to discuss, that we are going to revise now, is a data type. What indeed is a data type? A data type defines the values that a variable can store. Like I said earlier, a variable is that entity which can be declared by the user or by the candidate, which stores a name and a value associated with it. This is what a general definition of variable is, and now the type of value that we store inside a variable represents a data type. This is the best explanation of a data type. Defines the values that a variable can take. Like a data type, like for example, I said earlier, a count can take a value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are integers. Is this fine? This is called integer data type. And also, depending upon data type, there are particular number of operations that can be performed on them, which I will be explaining now from now. The very first data type that has been introduced by IIT Madras is Boolean data type. In fact, what is a Boolean data type? A Boolean data type is that type of data which can only be a true or a false, but it cannot possess any other value except these two things. We generally counter Boolean data types when we use greater than, less than, is equal to symbols. This is used to verify whether the values are equal or not, and these are relational operators. These show the relation between two quantities. Am I clear? Say for example, the better example to describe about Boolean is, let us say that A is 1 and B is 2. So is A greater than B? What does this yield? Can anyone please give an answer? I'll be happy for them.
False. 0.
False.
No, actually it cannot be a 0, because we can give a 0 if we say 2 minus 2 is equal to how much? In that case it would be a 0. For this particular thing we get false. Yes, the one who has said it's a false is 100% right. And this is what a Boolean data type. I think you all got a better understanding with this example. And now we move on to the next data type, which is integer. Integer is a data type which can only have numbers. Like it can start from negative numbers to positive numbers, including 0. As I said now, count can also have 0, but a count cannot have negative numbers, because we cannot count negative items. But we can only decrease the quantity, but we cannot count negative things, right? Is there possibility that we can count negative things as well? I mean negative quantities as well? Can anyone give an answer? Can someone answer if we can count negative things or such?
So for negative thing, I think we will use float.
Yeah. It's it will be discussed later on. But here we cannot. I mean, what I mean to say is, say for example, the same example, female students. Think that there are no female students but only male students. Can we conclude that the total number of female students are negative to that of male students?
No, sir. That would be a nonsense answer.
Yeah, that is what the main thing is here. So these particular variables cannot possess negative numbers. In fact, the range of integer data type is negative to positive numbers, from negative infinity to plus infinity. It can hold any values in this range. And the basic operations the basic operations that we can perform on integers are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I hope you all are clear with solving these 4 operations as well. Do you need example for these operations also?
Yes, sir. It would be nice if you could give.
Yeah, fine. Then I'll be giving an example also. Say that we want to find the proportion of male to female students in IIT Madras online program. Think that let us estimate that there are 100 male students and 70 female students. How can you find the proportion of male to female here? Can somebody give an answer?
10:7.
Yes. It is actually 100 by 70. Sorry. As it is male to female, we need to give 100:70, which is 10:7. This ratio symbol is nothing but division, right? I think you all are aware of that. With this, we are able to solve my division operation here, which yields a perfect result of 10/7. And the value of 10/7 is somewhere around 1.44, right? Sorry, 1.42. Is this right? Can we move on to next example of multiplication? And now multiplication, the better example of multiplication is that, let us say the cost of a cost of 1 pen is 5 rupees, and let us say that we are interested to buy 100 pens. What is the total cost? 500 rupees. Simple, right? This is also an operation of integer data type. You could ask me, how can you directly multiply 5 with 100 without declaring any variables? Actually, in a particular process, there would be separate two variables, one for storing the cost of a single pen and the other quantity, and another variable for the total number of pens that we want to buy. And thereafter, we can multiply these two in order to get 500. Am I clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. And the similar process moves on and goes on with subtraction and addition as well. Do you need examples? I think you can make it by your own by this time. Yeah, okay. And now we would be moving on to the next data type, which is character data type. What is a character data type? A character data type is something. What are characters indeed? First of all, what are characters? Characters are alphanumeric entities. These are predefined alphanumeric entities. The term alphanumeric is a combination of. Yesterday, I remember someone asking regarding this. Alphanumeric refers to alphabets plus numericals. This is what alphanumeric refers to. As we know that alphabets are A to Z and numericals are from, we can say they are negative as well. But the main rule is that we need to store a character inside a single or a double quote. This is an important rule to be remembered about. And we can also use special characters as strings. As characters. Special characters as a single character like hashtag, exclamatory mark. These are also allowed to be characters. There is no limitation or there is no restriction that only alphanumeric entities can be characters, but these can be characters too only if they are enclosed within single or double quotes. I hope everybody are clear with what we say. Somebody was asking.
Sir, in alphanumeric,
Yes.
numerals should be. Is there a condition to be 1 to 9 or something like that, or any number can be there?
No. Actually, it can be anything.
Suppose I am taking as 100. Can it be included?
Yeah. It can be included. It is considered to be a character because 100 itself it has a particular value. You need not write 100 to be something like. I think your doubt is regarding this, right? You are asking whether we can. Yeah, is this your doubt?
Yes, this is my doubt, sir.
Yeah, actually, this can be considered to be a character because 100 itself has a particular meaning associated with it. This carries its own meaning. Therefore, it is a character. We need not write 100 to be something like 1. You need not write the characters separately. 1, 0, and 0. I think this is your doubt probably.
What is the best example can we take for this one?
Best example means you're asking regarding
Character.
This is what these are what examples are. Say that you're interested to denote 1 as a character. The best examples can be 1 is also a character rather than being an integer. This is an integer data type. Actually, 1 is an integer data type.
About the real life class means real life example. If we can take here.
Real life example. Actually, we can take a real life example. Character. The real life example of a character would be. The total number of pens or such, these are very generic. These are very generic examples. Like they sound too silly if I tell you. Like as I said from the definition itself. Can you mute yourself, please? Somebody has opened their mic. These are themselves very generic in nature. They are very generic by definition, by their definition as well. Because we can make a real life example, but they sound too odd. Because I said that every single character or every single entity is a character by itself if we denote them with a single or double quotes. We can give real life examples for integers and booleans and strings as well, but it takes, yes, we can give an example of character in real life example, but they sound too odd. You must be able to understand by the definition itself.
Go ahead, sir. I understand. Okay.
If you are really interested, I can get you such example by after you complete the revision session.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Okay, fine. And now the next data type is a string. Actually, what is a string? Can someone explain what is a string in short from the explanation that I had done from yesterday's lecture?
It is a collection of characters.
Yeah, you are right. It is a collection of characters. As it said by one of the students, it is 100% right that it's a collection or a sequence of characters. Rather, we can also say that it is a sequence of characters. A string cannot only be a string. We can say that a string never comprises of a single data type, but a string can also comprise the very different data types. Say for example, here I had given you string 1 to be IIT and string 2 to be Madras, string 2 to be Madras. We observe that the data types of both these are as I and T is a sequence of 3 characters, and hence it is called as a string. It is very important to denote a string inside a double or a single quotes. This is also a very important rule to be followed. Apart from this example, let us say that 1 at the rate and any other special characters, 1 at the rate A. This is also a string. There is no restriction that, as I said earlier, there is no restriction that a string can only comprise a single data type. It can consist of several data types as well. And if we do concatenate both of them, we get 1 at the rate and A. I hope you guys are clear with this explanation of string as well. It is a collection of characters which can belong to the same data type or different data types. And the operations that we can perform on a string are, we can compare whether two strings are equal or the same or not. Like for example, we can say is high is equal to hey. How do we do this? Can someone please explain? Can someone please give an idea?
Yes,
Return
sir.
false.
Boolean method.
Yeah, the answer is right that it is a false. So I can understand that you guys understood. But for the sake of everyone, I need to do it from my end also. And what we do here is that we just compare the alphabets. Here the first letter is H, and here also it is H. Here it is I, but here it is E. From these two, and moreover, if you observe in the very beginning, this is a word comprising of 2 letters, where this is a word comprising of 3 letters. That must make the difference to conclude that they are different. Is this example clear, everybody?
Clear, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, let's move on.
in strings, can we count integers in it? Can we say that integers is a part of string?
Yeah, here you can find here you can see that one is an integer and it is a part of the string. Can you see the string one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see here the string one consists of one which is an integer. Oh, 1 second. One is an integer, at the rate is a special character, and A is an alphabet. Is this clear? I think 𝗕𝗵𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗃 has asked the question, right?
Yes, sir. It's clear now.
Yeah, fine. Any other doubts? Anyone with the concept of string? Someone?
What if, yes, sir. What if I initialize string 1 as 100 and string 2 as and 500? And what will be the return of the string 3, sir?
Yeah, I'll just explain you that. You wanted the string 1 to be 100, right? And string 2 to be 500.
Yes,
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Now what happens is that the two strings get concatenated. Here the string 1 is 100 and the string 2 is 500. And now as a result we get 100,500. But it is not a numerical value, but it is only a string data type. Actually the rule of concatenation is that I'll explain you in brief here. This example would serve as a very good, you could get a good understanding of concatenation using the question asked by one of the students. The first string is 100, right? And the second string is 500. So, what about concatenating these two things? As we need to, but the process of concatenation also preserves its order. Say for example, if it was string 2 plus string 1, then the answer would be 50. If it was 500100, this would be the answer if the declared string 3 had stored the result of string 2 plus string 3, and hence the order needs to be very preserved as well. And now coming to the process of concatenation, what happens is that here there are 3 digits, here there are 3 elements, here 3 elements, 100, and we need to start it from the very 4th place, 500. There is no extra space or no extra symbol or such. We just add them together. Are you clear now? The person who asked this doubt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think I cleared your doubt. Is it fine with you now? Okay, we shall move on to the next topic as well. Oh. 100 and 500. Yeah. And now the next topic is subtype of data types. Subtype of data types. What does the subtype of data type refers to? This is a very special case of data type where we restrict the range of data type. Let's say, for example, as I said yesterday, the subtype of data type is very used in the cases of calculation work, in the case of calculating scores, or let us say in the case of calculating the cricket score, it can be a mathematics score or something which has a definite range. Please make note of this point. There is a definite range for that. We cannot say the cricket score went up to infinity. There is no such event till date. So we restrict the data type. This is what a subtype refers to. The very first point of identifying that is this is a type of data type is that we have its range fixed between two intervals. These are open intervals, right? Square brackets. We use these brackets in mathematics. For better understanding, I had to use them here. Am I clear with this explanation of subtype? Can you all are open to ask questions if you have any regarding subtype. Anyone having doubts with this? Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yeah, fine. And now, how do we transform data types? We transform data types using, actually that's a different case in Python where we use separate keywords to transform data types. But in this case, how do we transform the data types that are pre-declared by the user? I mean, the word pre-declared refers to they are declared in the very beginning steps of the algorithm itself, or in the very beginning steps of the process. Let us say that we celebrate this is the example that I had given yesterday, January 1st. This is the day that we celebrate New Year on. And what is January 1 data type? Can someone see from here and tell me?
It's a string.
Yes, very good. This is a string data type. And now if we are asked to find out the date after 3 days get passed by, then there are two methods to be followed for doing so. Either we can numerically code January 1 to be 0 plus 1 for after 1 day passes, another plus 1 for after another day passes, and another plus 1 after the final day passes. As we are meant to find the date after 3 days, we keep on increasing plus 1. I mean, we keep on increasing 1 until we find the 3 days get passed by. Then the date would be January 4th. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
This is somewhat confusing and it is hard to remember for the ones who are very new to computational thinking. I think everybody are new here. And the best method is that in case if the string data type has an integer part associated with it, here 1 is an integer part of the string data type, which is January 1. You can simply add +3 to the value and find out the result immediately, which is January 4th. This is the most preferable method of transforming data types and getting answers from them. You can prefer the method which is very much suitable for your convenience.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if the question gets like this, suppose if I want to find the number August 21, how will I find with the
Okay.
integers?
With the help of integers, then simple. Then for yesterday I said the point, like for anything which is related to the year and date, you can consider January 1 as the reference key. January 1 is the reference key. Here we can code this to be as 1 because a year contains 365 days, which is a non-leap year. A non-leap year consists of 365 days, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can say that January 1 can be the first day, which is numerically coded to be 1. Let us say that you are interested in finding out the day of like the sequential day of August 15 annually. Then you need to add the total number of days present in a month of January. As January 1st is the 1, you need to add another n number of days for August. So I will make you tell the answer by yourself. How many days does January consist of?
31.
31st.
What?
31 days, sir.
Yeah. So how many days should we add here? 1 is already present here.
We should add
Yes.
30 days.
With this, January is completed, right? In a similar fashion, February. With this, we get 59 days completed here. January and February consist 59 days, and then 30 days for March. right?
31.
Yes, sir.
31 marks. Okay, let us say that it's 31. Mm. 31 and so on for April, May, June, July and August up to 14th, up to August 14th. You need to add only 14 days here. In the case of August 15th, you need to add 14 days because we need the particular date of August 15th. We need to add only 14 days and the very next result corresponds to August 15th. Am I clear with this explanation?
Yes, sir.
This is the best method of finding the date, the sequential day of an year. I think I helped you with this example.
Yes, sir.
And now, any other doubts, anybody? I think all are clear. Now we'll move on to the next thing, which are lists and records. A list, what indeed is a list? A list and record. A list is one of the data type and a record is another data type which deal with collection of elements. These are not individual data types which are like integer, character and strings, but these are a collection of data elements or collection of data entities rather. So a sequence of data elements of same or different data type. Please note this point, students. This is a very important thing to be remembered about, because the weak one gets some 20 to 30% in the qualifier exam, and you need to pay the utmost concentration to flowcharts, and flowcharts are very much important. And this list and record, the list question, there will be at least one question from lists. This is a very important thing that I decided to tell now. So please make note of this point. A list can contain as many data types as possible. There is no restriction. There is no restriction upon list that it must contain only a single data type. Am I clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Please make note of this point. You can note it down somewhere to revise later, as this would be very helpful. And this name 𝗕𝗵𝗲𝗂𝘁. He is one of our students who is present in his class. He raised a doubt, asking that a data type can be same or different. Here 90 is an integer, chemistry 90 is an integer, and nil is a string. But here this list of marks contains 2 integers and a string as well. With this, you can conclude that a list can possess elements of different data types. Is list clear for everybody? Any doubts?
Yes, sir. It can contain same also, right?
Yeah, it can contain same data type. It can contain different data types. It is a normal property that everybody can, like, for example, let us say a choice of a person depends upon his mentality or attitude. Say that you're interested to buy more trousers than buying more t-shirts or something. That is your choice. In a similar way, this is also accordingly to the choice of user or the candidate. Am I clear with this example?
Yes, clear, sir.
Yeah, fine. And now we'll move on to discuss about record. The only thing from which we can differentiate between a list and a record is that a record is a data type with multiple fields. It is a field-based data structure. Multiple fields which have a name and value associated, as discussed earlier, to that of a variable, which have a name and value. You can remember the format of a data type to be as a key to value pair. This you will be learning later on in Python, but for time's sake, it would be better if you remember the record data type to be in this format of key to value. Here, for example, Yes, you're asking something.
Sir, what do you mean by K is to V?
K is to V, key is to value pair. Now I'm explaining the same. I think you can get to a better understanding after I do so. Here the name is key and bonus is value. Gender is a key and male is a value. Date of birth similar. Everything is applicable the same as well. These are all the fields. This is the mathematics is a field of mathematics marks. Physics is a field of physics marks. Chemistry is a field of chemistry marks. And this total score is the field of summation of 68, 64 and 78. This is what in general a record data type refers to. Am I clear? Are you clear with this key value explanation to the person who has asked this doubt?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Sir, what
Yeah.
is mathematics? Can we tell it as a key?
Mathematics is the key, whereas the 68 is value of mathematics.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Say for example, this is a parent node, like a parent and child node. I think you must be aware, like the real life example would be, who is the key of our success? We say that teachers are parents. Here, let's say for example, in the family, who is the successor? The successor of a family comes from the key. Like your parents are your key, right?
Yes.
This is the best example that I could give you. You are the value of your parents. Say for example, if they see you outside in some, if someone notice you in their surroundings, what do they get remembered immediately? They just remember your parents. So yes, he is the son or daughter of. That is the identification mark, right? That is how they identify you. This is the best example. I think I'm clear with this now. Is this fine? The person who asked this?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah, okay. With this, the record data type has also been completed. Oh my god, I think this stuck. Okay, with this our revision session has been completed, and now those who all have doubts in practice assignment and activity assignments, they can bring up your questions so that I can solve for them as well. Anybody having any doubts in activity questions and practice questions as well?
No, first of all, ask them in theory part. Any doubts is there? Any doubts in theory part?
No.
किसी को हिंदी में किसी को कोई भी डाउट है थ्योरी पार्ट में? दोबारा मैं पूछूंगा, रिकॉर्ड लिस्ट इसमें कोई डाउट है? आप लोगों को दूसरा ट्रेनर का वीडियो भी दिया गया है वाया आवर यूट्यूब चैनल, है ना? पीपीटी भी आईआईटी, हाँ, वन बाय वन यू टेल। हाँ,
एक बार फिर से एक्सप्लेन करेंगे प्लीज?
क्या चीज पूछिए?
सब टाइप ऑफ डेटा टाइप।
हाँ, सब टाइप्स।
हाँ।
विनोद?
यस सर।
साई, प्लीज वंस अगेन एक्सप्लेन। आई एम बिजी राइट नाउ, अदरवाइज हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर देता। ओके?
यस सर, डेफिनेटली।
इट्स ओके।
विनोद, इंग्लिश इज ओके फॉर यू?
Yeah,
I believe
okay,
you are very good at English. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, am I audible? Sawan Vinod, am I audible to you?
And Vinod, haven't you checked the PPTs given by IITM? Didn't you understand from there?
Yes sir, I understand, but have doubts.
अच्छा, फिर भी doubt है, कोई बात नहीं.
So here a subtype of data type. Actually, say for example, you have some. Now I'll give you some real life example to make you get a better understanding out of it. Say we have a separate filter called category, right? This is a real life example through which I am going to explain you a data type, a subtype of data type. Okay. Say for example, what is category in our real life? Say that you are interested in buying apparel. Then in apparel you will be having trousers, shirts, shoes, sunglasses. Am I right? These are the categories of apparel, right? Vinod, Savan Vinod, are you audible? Am I clear to you
Yes.
till
Yes, sir.
now? So this is the category of a single thing. All of these fall under a single data type. I mean, 1 second, I need to minimize this. Yeah. All these things come under a category of apparel, but instead, why are we classifying them again? Because they are different in different fields, and hence we are classifying them to be subcategories. These are the subcategories, and this is the main category, which is apparel.
Okay.
And now, why did we subclassify this as? Why did we subclassify this? Because apparel has a vast range, and this trousers, shirts, shoes, sunglasses, hats, all of these have some range as well. They have a range. Not everyone in this entire world only wears trousers, right?
Okay, sir.
Some are interested to move on with some some suitings or some dhotis, something like that. Their range is very much reduced. They are, or in specific words, we can say that they are limited. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Now we move on to the original explanation of subtype of data types. Here the subtype of data types is the better example would be your marks. Say, consider that you have scored, everybody in our childhood write exams or attend exams for 100 marks. For instance, let us say that now you all are going to write qualifier exam for 100 marks, right?
Yes,
Why
sir.
is it fixed to 100 here? Why can't it be infinity?
Sir,
That is
maximum question.
Yeah, you're right, because the maximum questions cannot exceed more than the dedicated time hours. That must be related to time constraints. But here we write above for 100 marks by default because it is a fixed range. It is a data type. 100 is an integer data type, but here we are restricting the range of data type. We have to stress upon restriction. Please remember this keyword. The one I don't know, I don't remember. I think Savan Vinod.
Yes, sir.
If we restrict the range of a particular data type, see here the integer is being restricted to 100. We cannot find some marks like 110 out of 100, right? We cannot find them in regular cases. We cannot find 110 out of 100, which is a false assumption.
Yes, sir.
Once you see any entry that is fixed to the maximum thing, as I discussed variable above, for a variable we always say we always fix a range for a variable.
Yes.
We say for even I think in case if you had applied for any central government or appearance exam, say for example if you apply for RRB, there is a separate option called maximum marks and marks obtained. Right, these are the two fields, and maximum marks are 100 over here, and the marks obtained are your marks, which are x out of 100. By that, once you see this 100, you need to conclude that yes, this is a subtype of integer data type. Am I clear, Vinod? Savan Vinod?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I
पूरा
think
क्लियर हो गया कि फिर भी डाउट है तो बोलिए.
नहीं सर, मुझे बस सब टाइप्स का नाम जानना था. वो मतलब ये सब एक्सप्लेनेशन पता था, लेकिन नेम्स क्या है इसमें, मतलब ये सिर्फ
अभी समझ में आया? पूरा क्लियर है?
समझ में आया सर. हाँ,
नहीं तो थोड़ा बहुत गूगल कर लीजिएगा, फिर दोबारा पूछिएगा. देखिए हम लोग ऑलरेडी लेट चल रहे हैं. डेली हम लोग 1 घंटा का टाइम रखते हैं, लेकिन आप लोगों के लिए हम लोग 2 घंटा कर देते हैं.
ओके सर.
ठीक है साई, यू कैन गो अहेड फॉर द एक्टिविटी क्वेश्चन.
Okay, now if anybody has some doubts in activity or activity questions, then we will move on sequentially starting from activity question 1.1.
Yeah.
Anybody are having doubts in activity questions 1.1 can speak up.
Sir, please explain transformation of data type in Hindi.
Oh,
Hindi it is not possible right now.
ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन
जो भी हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं ना, थोड़ा इंग्लिश समझने का कोशिश कीजिए, क्योंकि आप लोगों को भी सीखना पड़ेगा, धीरे धीरे सीखना पड़ेगा। क्वेश्चंस भी इंग्लिश में है, बात भी इंग्लिश में ही करना पड़ेगा, राइट। 3 इयर्स में भी प्लेसमेंट लेना है, 2 इयर्स में भी इंटर्नशिप लेना है, तो 2 इयर्स में इंग्लिश तो सीखना पड़ेगा ना। तो अभी से कोशिश कीजिए बाय डिफरेंट मीन्स, रीडिंग पेपर्स, चेकिंग द BBC चैनल, ठीक है। हिंदी में हमेशा करने से नहीं होगा, बिकॉज नो हायर एजुकेशन एग्जिस्ट इन इंडिया इन हिंदी। दैट इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज व्हाट इंडियंस आर फेसिंग, ठीक है ना। किन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, नाम क्या आपका?
अमृतांशी।
ओके। थोड़ा थोड़ा सीखने का कोशिश कीजिए। आज जो क्लास लिया गया है बहुत धीरे बोला गया है इंग्लिश, राइट, है ना, एकदम धीरे धीरे बोला गया है। कोशिश कीजिए सीखने का। हो सकता है हम लोग नेक्स्ट बैच से हिंदी वाला बैच भी खोल दे, लेकिन इस बार के लिए आप लोग समझने का कोशिश कीजिए।
Okay, guys. If anybody has some doubt in activity question 1.1, they can ask me right now, right away. I will explain you the activity question 1.1.
किसी को डाउट है activity question 1.1 में?
No doubt.
5 seconds, then moving to next. Activity question 1.2. अच्छा, Vishu is there asking. Vishu?
No, sir.
हाँ. Then you please unmute yourself, na?
I said no, sir.
Then okay, fine. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I think all are perfect with activity question 1.1. Can we move on to activity question 1.2, please?
Yes, sir.
So, anybody anybody having doubts in activity question 1.2? You are free to ask. Hello. Are everybody clear with 1.2 activity questions?
Yes, sir. Doubt is
Move to the next. Wait.
You are telling that you had some doubt in. I heard someone saying that they have some doubt in some question.
Okay, let us wait. जिनको डाउट है वो बोले, अनम्यूट करके। हाँ, गोवर्धन जी बोलिए।
Sir, where can you we can get the PDF of the today's
ये लेक्चर, ये क्लास?
हाँ सर,
ये तो ऑलरेडी दिया हुआ है ना, उसी को तो रिपीटेशन हुआ है, आज तो रिवीजन हुआ है कल का।
ओके।
अच्छा, वेयर कैन यू गेट, मैं बता देता हूँ। एक चैनल हम लोगों ने बनाया है, ठीक है ना, जहाँ पे अभी 40 मेंबर ज्वाइन किया। चैनल है, उसमें जितने भी वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग हो गए, ये नोट्स हो गए या एक्स्ट्रा ओल्ड बैच के नोट्स हो गए, जो भी हमें रिलीवेंट लगेगा हम लोग वहाँ पे डाल देंगे। वहाँ कोई चैटवेट नहीं होगा। वहाँ ये बात है कि हर एक मैसेज के नीचे कमेंट बॉक्स है, उसमें आप लोग कमेंट कर सकते हैं। कुछ भी डाउट हो, मान लीजिए वीडियो डाला हुआ है तो 3 मिनट्स में आप लोगों को डाउट है, आप लिख सकते हो कि 3 मिनट्स में मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, तो ट्रेनर 24 घंटा या 48 आवर्स के अंदर देख के आपको वहीं पे रिप्लाई करेंगे। सबको पता है ना, चैनल है, छोटा सा चैनल है, आइकन में क्लिक करके आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं।
ओके,
ठीक है,
ठीक है।
आई अंडरस्टैंड टेलीग्राम नया प्लेटफॉर्म है, जब जूम आप लोगों ने नया यूज किया था या जी मीट, उसमें भी प्रॉब्लम हुआ होगा, ठीक है ना, तो इसमें इसको यूज टू बना लीजिए।
ओके सर।
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
Okay, fine. So can we move on to activity question 1.3? Anybody having doubts in activity questions 1.3? You are free to ask now. Hello. Can someone please respond at least no? Solomon,
okay,
you are speaking.
Wait for 10 seconds. If nobody is replying, no doubts, then move to the next, okay?
Okay, so fine. From now, the timer starts.
Please tell me.
Which question, Solomon? You are asking something?
1.2 third question thoda.
Okay, 1.2 third question,
third
right?
question.
Your activity question 1.2 third question refers to like match the following statements. Is that the question? Hello, Solomon?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually that question states that match the following statements with corresponding concept. I explained the week 1 content in brief. So now let's find the statements. The statement 1 is going through a sequence of objects and performing the same operations on each object. That's the first statement, right? And the second statement is an entity whose value keeps changing as the computation goes on. These are the two statements given to us by the portal of IITM address to solve, and the concepts that are given, and the two concepts are C1. Concept 1 is a variable and concept 2 is an iteration, right? I think this is where you got confused, Solomon. Actually,
yes, sir. Actually, iteration I can able to understand. There is variable.
yeah, actually the variable, as the name suggests, variable is an entity. In this, you can split up variable to be vary and able. The term vary itself denotes or indicates that something which differs, or something that is not unique by nature. It keeps on changing as the variable as the value or computation goes on. Like for example, I said in the earlier case of finding a total number of female students from Chennai. If we find someone who is from Chennai, then we add a +1 to the particular value of count, right? That is what a variable is. The value of a variable keeps on changing as we move on through the process. As we get further deep into the process, the value of variable keeps on changing. If we find any corresponding value, which is very much needed to update it. Am I clear with the variable explanation?
Okay, sir. Okay.
I think you are clear right now, right? Is there any other doubt that you have in this question?
Yes, Jessica has asked in the chat. She is unable to distinguish between categorical variable and numerical variable. Jessica, please unmute yourself. Her name is Jessica, yeah.
Jessica Chauhan.
Yeah. इनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है categorical and numerical. Explain in English only, slowly, by giving examples, real-time examples.
Okay, actually, Jessica, here the main thing, so we can differentiate between categorical and numerical variable is that, 1 second. Categorical variable, right? This is your first point of understanding. A categorical variable. What indeed is a categorical variable? I'll just explain you in short and in brief using an example. What is a categorical variable? Actually, in this term, this particular term refers is introduced from statistics, but as it is computational thinking, I'll make you understand much better with an example, with a proper example. So let us say categorical variables represent types of data. Like as I said earlier, if you have listened earlier to the earlier example, like we have a particular category called apparel, and we are classifying them again into trousers, shirts, suitings, sunglasses, and every such things. And the basic definition of categorical variables is that categorical variables represent types of data which can be divided into further groups, like further classes. Examples of categorical variables are, let us say, gender. Because gender comprises of two things, male, female, it is a categorical variable. And age group. Age group is also a categorical variable. And your latest education, I mean, your educational level. These are categorical variables, as these are subclassified into subcategories. Am I clear with categorical variables, Jessica Chauhan? Did you get a better understanding out of it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can just speak up. I mean, I am unable to hear you properly. Can you speak up somewhat louder?
Am I audible, sir? Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, fine. So you are comfortable with categorical variable, right? Now I will explain you about numerical variable. What is a numerical variable? Can you make a guess from the definition of categorical variable? Okay, I think you're somewhat confused with that. I myself will explain categorical variable also. I mean numerical variable. A numerical variable is also called as a quantitative variable, because you see here the term numerical. Anything that has that possesses the word numerical can be concluded that it is that entity which can be counted. The term numerical refers to we can count the number of entities, except numbers which are used for coding numerically. Like I said earlier, for January 1st as 1 for the remaining number of days in a year. So a numerical variable is that variable which can be counted and or which can be which can be made into a list of separate counts, like female count, male count, like, or the total number of adults in a household, or the total number of cars that a person has, or the total number of books that a particular shelf or a cupboard can accommodate. These are what numerical variables are. And the main point is that numerical variable can be continuous or discrete. Am I clear with numerical variable as well? Jessica Chauhan.
Yes, sir. Clear.
So can I move on to other doubts as well? Okay, fine. Any other doubts, activity questions, students? You can ask right away. Only one person has asked from 1.2. With this 1.3 is okay. Anybody having doubts in 1.3 question? Activity questions 1.3. Come on, guys, you need to speak up right now, because this is the only platform I can help you.
No, sir.
You can get real help. What? Harshit Joshi, you are asking something?
Sir, I have shared the doubt in group.
Group, 1 second.
So that is also my doubt. It's a doubt of practice assignment.
Okay, then we'll be moving on to the practice assignment later after we complete activity questions in a sequential order. Okay, I think everybody are done with activity question 1.3 as well. And now activity question 1.4. Any doubts in activity question 1.4? I'll be waiting for another 5 seconds. You need to speak up in this time interval. Okay, fine. And now activity question 1.5. Any other doubts in activity question 1.5?
Question, sir.
What?
No, sir.
First question.
First question.
Yes.
Right. The Giri has asked the first question. What type of flowchart symbol should be inserted? I'll just put up the question in here. Insert picture. Okay, fine. This is your question, right?
Which question it is?
Activity question 1.5, first question, sir.
Okay. And say finish till 8:15. Okay, remaining we will continue tomorrow. The next class is getting late.
Okay, fine, sir. Fine.
Now it is 8. Okay.
Yes, sir. The first question refers to consider the following flowchart that calculates sum of mathematics marks of all students in the data set. We wish to modify this flowchart to compute the sum of maths marks of all girls in the data set, right? So here we need to find, or we need to introduce a particular symbol to only find out or to only calculate the sum of girls, the sum of marks obtained by girls. So here, as we move on in a sequential order, I'll explain you by drawing with the help of a pen. We start the process, and sum is 0 because initially we do not have any value of sum. We initialize the sum to be 0, where sum is a variable which possesses value 0. And do we find more cards in pile 1? Yes, absolutely. There are more cards in pile 1 as we haven't started counting yet. And now we proceed to the yes branch of this diamond box. Pick a card X from pile 1. Since there are more cards present in the first pile, we need to pick it and read the card information. And here comes the original symbol that needs to be inserted. And here we should introduce a symbol of diamond, because we need to take a decision whether the card that is picked up is corresponds to a girl or not. Is X dot gender a girl? Okay, is it fine? The person who 𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗓𝗔, I think you are the person who asked this. Is it fine? That did you get a proper understanding? In case if it is yes, then we move on here. Then we add the marks of then we add the marks of that girl to the variable sum that has been predefined in the very first step. And if it is a no, this goes for yes and this goes for no. And if it is a no, from here we move on to this branch again. More cards in pile 1. Fine, is that fine for now? Because it is not the card of a girl, again we need to check if there are more cards in the first pile. I think you are clear by this explanation.
Yes sir, clear.
Yeah, fine. And any other doubts, anyone in activity question 1.5? So there are no doubts in activity question 1.5 as well. 1.6. Hello. Adesh Rangari, your voice is not audible. You are speaking something.
Yourself, Adesh. बीच में बटन है ना, उसको अनम्यूट करो. यस, हो गया. बोलो अब.
No doubt.
Okay, fine. Activity question 1.6 also there are no doubts. Fine. Activity questions 1.7. Any doubts? Guys, you can speak up right now because the time is also being completed. Okay,
No
fine.
doubt, sir.
Activity question. Yes.
I have a general doubt. If someone is asking us gender of a student, it can be string or a character, right, sir?
It is generally in this case, in the case, like for let me see. I will show you.
Yes, sir.
Here in this particular card, the gender is a male. It is a single M, and hence it is only a character. In case if it was MALE, then it would be perfectly a string.
Okay, sir. Now, like in exam, if we have both.
What both?
If we have in options.
Okay, like see what happens in the examination. You will be given. There will be the question will be very accurate with reference to the data set. They will be asking questions in this record. In this model, the questions will be asked with reference to data set. Then starts the original question. At the very beginning of question, there will be the data set to be used, and thereafter the question follows.
If both are available in the answer, then what we should do? And it is only single choice.
if both are available and if it is from course dataset, then you need to select male here, M. Oh, as M is only a character, you need to take a character here.
Okay, sir.
And in case if you are
in general,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they are not saying anything, only gender of someone, and they're not mentioning male and female, then what we should do?
Then you need to take character, because it is never coded like this, because we have coded male to be as M and female to be as F, right?
Okay,
Not
sir.
all do code in a similar fashion.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
in
in that
general,
case,
in exam, we should write it as character. That's it.
yeah, but you have to write character only if it is depending, only if the question depends upon scores dataset.
Okay. No, sir. In
And
general, I'm asking if the gender. What is the gender they have given? In general.
In general, you need to select string here.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Any other doubts? Anyone? In activity question 1.7, any doubts?
Sir, in the place of gender, can we say this as a string also?
I didn't get your doubt understanding. Once again, can you please repeat?
You have said in the card, in the data set, which you have shown
Yeah.
now, Bhuvanesh.
Yeah.
Here, in the place of gender, the letter M signifies the character or the string. Can we say this as a string?
Actually, M stands for male. If it was a male here, let me show you.
See, there is a confusion in this because we have seen that when you will go to real life coding, वहाँ पे कुछ string माना जाएगा, लेकिन IIT के faculty ने कुछ और ही बोला है. You know, Sai? IITM
Yes, sir.
faculty, Usha ma'am, she had considered different thing here. I don't know why. That's why students are asking here this doubt to you.
Like actually, sir, Usha madam is very much, she is a faculty of statistics.
Exactly.
And this is the subject of computational thinking, and we have,
Okay, not Usha. Yeah, not Usha. Another one, another faculty. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
Okay,
They have
so in
considered
the,
different thing. That's why students are asking here doubt. Many has doubt in this.
yeah, fine. As I said earlier, you will be given the data set to refer to, and then you will be then the question starts. Then the actual question starts. And in case if it is corresponding to scores data set, and the male is and the gender male is coded as M and female is coded to be F. As M and F are only single data elements, they are considered to be only characters but not strings. And if you speak about general cases, then they are strings respectively. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
This must be the major doubt everyone are posing right now, right?
Yeah, move to the next one.
Okay, fine. And now the activity question 1.8. Anybody are having doubts in this? Activity question 1.8 consists of 4 questions. Anybody are having doubts in them?
Hello.
Okay, fine. Yeah, yes, bro. Somebody.
Sir, when the math class will be start?
It starts within a few minutes. After we'll complete our CT class right away, and then the original mathematics class starts.
Yeah,
Let us be somewhat
we will
faster.
give 10 minutes break. We will give you, and then we will start. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We are already late here, so we need to go much faster.
Sir, I have
And now activity questions. Yeah, activity. You have doubt in which question?
1.9. Activity question 1.9.
Yeah, now we are coming to 1.9. Which question, bro? 1.9.
Question number 1. I think you have already solved it.
Question number. Yes, sir. Yes, I already solved this question, which is 15th August, right, in a non-leap year.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, as I said earlier, see, 15th August, you just need to, like, I said earlier, like, January contains. Are you from desktop or mobile?
I am from desktop, sir.
Yeah, okay. Can you please select? I'll just show you. Oh my god. Can you please select the can you please click on the clock section of the taskbar?
Sir, you mean to show
There
the
you can access the calendar.
Okay.
You can access the calendar there, and once you move on to January part, you can manually add the numbers. See, the January month consists of 31 days, and then we come to February. 31 plus 28, 59. 59 plus 31. For 59 plus 31, 40. I mean 90. 90 plus April. April is 30. 120. 120 plus 31 days. 151 days. By the end of May, we will be completing 151 days. June, 30 days. 181 days. July, 31 days. 181 plus 31. This is. Come on, guys. You need to calculate as well along with me. 212 days. And now, after we encounter July month, we only need to add 14 days of August. Because 15th is the date. Hello?
Hello, sir. Yeah, so I am calculating.
Yeah.
It is going around 226.
Yeah, the correct answer is 226. You're right. That's the answer.
Okay, sir. Fine. Now I got it.
This is the method. Like I said you that you need to take January 1st as a reference for every question of this kind. Am I clear with your doubt now?
Yes, sir. It's clear now.
Okay, fine. Any other doubts in activity question 1.9 students? You are free to ask. Okay, now activity question 1.10, 1.10.
Yeah, sir. I have doubt here in the question number 2 and 3.
Yes. In question number 2, how many fields does the record marks card have? That's your doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll just show you again. Pictures, grade card. See here, this is the actual marks card, right?
Yes, sir.
So the question stated to ask us, the question asked us, how many fields does the record marks card have? Here the record, as I said, you need to consider a record to be a key value pair, right? Here name is the first one, name, gender, name is 1. One, 2, 3, 4, mathematics 5, physics 6, chemistry 7, total 8, and this ID, this 0 is the card ID, right?
Sequence.
Hello? Yeah, sequence. This is the card ID actually. We need to take this into consideration as well. Like you see here, x dot add card x to the card x. Here the card x refers to card 0. For this case, card 0 is the card x here. So in total, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There are in total 9 fields. Are you clear with this now?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah, fine. And again, you had the doubt in third question, right?
Yes, sir.
The record word in para has 4 fields that have different data types, but all of them have been derived from certain basic data types. Okay. Which of the following data types have been used? Sure. Okay. Since if you remember, I thoroughly explained the subtypes of data types as well. And then from the basic understanding of data type, you can make out that from which data type we can form a new one. See, from integers, you can make out a new data. Because the range of integers is very high, we can derive new data type from integers. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But we cannot do so with Boolean because Boolean is a data type which has only two entities, that are true or false. A Boolean can only be either a true or a false, right? So we cannot derive any sub-data types or subcategories from it. Whereas integers are from plus infinity to minus infinity. We can make out many categories from them, like positive first 100 positive numbers, second 100 positive numbers, first 100 negative numbers. These are the possible ways of forming new categories as well, new basic types. And certainly from characters as well. As the strings are a collection of a sequence of characters, we can make out another basic data type from a character. Actually, a string itself is developed from a character string. The characters, when built together, form a string, and this is the basic data type that has been formed from character. Are you clear with this explanation?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Can we move on to the next part as well? If anybody doesn't have any doubts in active question 1.10.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we are moving on to practice assignment questions. If anybody has any doubt, you can just ask me. What?
11th question.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't get you. 11th question.
Yes, sir. Question number 11.
Yeah, fine, fine. I'll just make it happen. Activity practice assignment, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please help to solve practice assignment question number 10.
Question number 10 of practice assignment, right? I have seen that question, practice assignment question number 10. That's your question, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to know the correct procedure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll help you out with that. Now we are going to discuss the practice assignment question number 10. Oh my god. This, I need to erase this.
Is it the last question?
Yes, this is the question, right? This is your this is the question you have doubt in. You need to match this.
Sir,
Like
next
see,
question. Question number 10.
question number 10. This is your question number 10, right? Practice assignment. Hello?
No, sir, next question. This is not question number 10.
Can you please read out the question for me?
Yes, sir. Let A, B, and C be three distinct integers. Give us input to the following flowchart.
Okay, fine. I get that. I'll explain you that question. One second. Is this the question? Somebody has asked this, right? Just now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is a question.
Yeah, I'll explain you. Actually, the question is asking us to find out the value of x. This is what x, right? Actually, this is very typical question of flowchart. See here, at the very beginning of a question, we have two variables which are already declared. There are three variables with us, which are a, b, and c, which are predefined which have predefined values from the user, but they are not disclosed. Now, the very first decision box is asking for is A greater than B, right? A and B are compared first. If A is greater than B, then we move on. If A is greater than B, then we move this side. Oh God. If A greater than B, then we come to this branch. And if it is false, we move on to this branch. And now, if A is greater than B? That means we are not in this particular branch. We are only talking about two variables which are A and B, but not C. Once we are done taking a decision here, we move on to compare with C here. Right? Are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
And now first let's discuss the S branch, and later we'll move on with no branch. See, now if we move on to S branch, now till this step we haven't discussed about C, the value of C. Now we need to compare the value of C as well. We need to compare the value of C with that of A. If the value of C is greater than A, then X would be A. From this conclusion, this is a very short question to understand to make an answer. First, you need to find out initially A is first. From now, listen to the explanation that I'm going to give you from now onwards. You will get the answer yourself. Is A greater than B? Come on, guys. This is going to be an interactive question from now on. Is A greater than B? If it is yes, we are moving on to S branch, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I said that this would be an interactive question. I request everyone to actively participate here. And now we are moving on to the S branch, where we are comparing C with A. If C is greater than A, if C is greater than A, what are we doing here? We are taking a S decision, and we are assigning A to the value X. We are assigning X to be is equal to A. X does not have any value until the last step, which is this. From this step, what can you actually conclude? See here, first we are comparing A with B. So, first comparison is completed. B is smaller than A, and the second decision is C greater than A? Yes, if it is greater than A, what conclusion can you make from it? We can say that A is the second largest number, because you see A is greater than B. That implies B is the smallest number, right? So if C is greater than A, that implies that C is the largest number. If C is greater, if C is greater than A, that implies C is the largest number of these three series, of the series of numbers A, B, and C, right? So here, if we find that C is greater than A, then we are assigning X to be A. From this conclusion, from this assignment operation, what can we conclude? Any guess from you guys?
X is the second largest number.
Yes, you are absolutely right, Ubaid. That's the correct option. X is the second largest number among A, B, and C. So one of our students is able to crack the question. I hope the person who can I know who asked this question?
Sir, I asked this question.
Are you clear regarding this explanation, Harshit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you're fine with this now. Can we move on to the next doubt if anyone has? Harshit, once again, can I confirm that you are clear with this now?
Yes, sir. Sir, the conclusion is that X is the second largest entity.
Yeah. I'm repeatedly asking you because others are able to make out from explanation, but the main concern is that The doubt is yours and you need to get the better understanding out of it.
Yes, sir, I get it.
Okay, fine. Very good to hear. Okay, others, any doubts in other questions? Guys, come on, speak up. Any other questions from practice assignment?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So, can we close the session for today?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I think everybody are much satisfied. And now we are going to end the session, and you'll be having a mathematics session as well. But guys, I sincerely request you to make out graded assignment on your own, because the question paper that you face in the qualifier exam will be very much similar to graded assignments. If you are successfully able to solve the what Ubaid, you're asking something?
Yeah, I am asking that. Is it possible to, the question of the graded assignment will be exactly same in the qualifier?
Yeah, there's a possibility.
There is
In my
chance.
case,
There is chance.
yeah. Let me give you some example. There is a chance because I had to attempt my qualifier twice, and in the second attempt, I got nearly some 4 to 5 questions from the first paper itself.
Exactly, this is what I was going to tell. हिंदी में बता देता हूँ सबके लिए. 20 to 50% questions old qualifier paper से same आ सकते हैं. This is a tip and trick which we would have given you after 10 days.
But guys, you cannot completely depend upon what we say the previous papers. But for sure, we can assure you that
as it is IIT, we can't be sure.
We can't be sure, but we can just say that the question paper can be of the model of the type of questions that appear in graded assignments.
So grade assignment is very, very important, and the previous year papers.
GS play a very crucial role in your in obtaining a better score in qualifier. Let me tell you clearly, guys. I was unable to crack the qualifier in my very first attempt, as I did not pay much attention to graded assignments as well. That's the main drawback. And I hope and I request all of you to make a very good progress in graded assignments. This would fetch you an admission into IIT Madras.
Any more doubts? That's why from the day one, we are recommending everyone to solve by themselves. Isn't it?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I heard that the level of main qualifier and graded assignment will not be same. The qualifier exam will be more difficult.
नहीं,
Is it true?
उतना difficult नहीं होता है.
No.
Don't worry about it.
We'll just give you a brief idea of the qualifier exam once you approach the date of examination.
In the chat window, we have mentioned right now, before maybe 5-10 minutes, that we will also share with you last means from starting October 2020 till date, all the qualifier papers we will be providing you, and few video solutions of few papers also we will provide you at the YouTube channel, free of cost. Okay? So you can understand कि कैसे question पूछे जाते हैं.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
No need to worry. We are here to make you enable that how you will solve it. But then also few people are writing anything in the chat window. When can we get the graded assignment? Yeah, for the cross-check करने के लिए you can definitely refer the YouTube. वहाँ पे detailed solutions होंगे हर एक graded assignments के. But there are few students who will not study anything, just join the YouTube channel at 119 rupees, and then they will not get selected. Getting my point? You should develop your own problem solving approach. वो क्रॉस चेकिंग के लिए ठीक है. YouTube is very good for cross checking. There are so many things there, right? It is maintained by so many team. But here you have to focus in the live classes. Now see, I think 30-40 students are present. They will get selected. Okay. So we can end the session and we will start the session at 8:35. Okay. Only 5 minutes break.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Sai, stop the recording. Stop the recording from your side.